Okay, so back with another little review here. Last week I did the FatBoy tripod when I just got it in that day, and I did the review on it, and I was able to take it out in the field and hunt with it this past weekend. We hunted 2 full nights in a row, and I must say that it's definitely well worth the money. It's built like a tank, and it's stable, and I got to shoot some coyotes off of it, and she got some blood on her and some mud and everything else. But I'm talking to you today about ball head. This is the wrecking ball, and like I said in the last video, I had to do a little bit of modification for it because the wrecking ball is made for a longer stud, and inside here you'll run a jam nut down. That way the base of the ball head doesn't move, because it works off this big screw up here, and it puts all the tension right on the ball. And once you get it set to your gun and your liking, you just leave it. You don't mess with it. So, and it's been a great ball head for the last 3.5, 4 seasons. But it's not going to work for me on this new tripod. The stud in there is just not long enough, and it's got a little set screw in here in the base plate, and I drilled out a little hole to where I could use that set screw. I also put some thread lock on there, but as much tension as I run, which is probably more than most people do, I broke it loose, and the set screw is doing its job, but it's also pivoting until it catches on that set screw, and I am one to not like that. Everybody knows that I like my stuff to work properly. I don't like to make stuff work. I just want it to work. So I got rid of the ball head. Actually, Nick bought it. It's going to make him a great ball head for his slick. I'm going to mount it on there for him tonight, actually. So he'll have a great ball head for him. And Everett has been talking to me about this other ball head, and I've been skeptical because I've been so stuck on the wrecking ball. And I still really like this wrecking ball. But I now have the Warrior Tripod's WT65. It's a 65 millimeter ball. It's got a quick attach Arca mount, and it's a throw lever style. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. And Warrior Tripods, the guy that owns that, or the company, they're really good people. I talked to him on the phone just the other day, that he shipped this out, and he was great to talk with, honestly. And I told him I had a FatBoy tripod, and they're actually coming out with their own tripod, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty badass, just like the FatBoy. They made a few changes, I think, but I think it's going to be a great tripod, and I'd like to get my hands on one to do a review for them. But they also are coming out with a level base, and a lot of guys are starting to use the level base with these 70 millimeter base plates. A lot of guys are going to the level base, and I was looking for one, but I came across Warrior Tripods thanks to Everett, and they have this ball head, and they're working on a level base, but they don't have it out yet. So I went ahead and bought this one, and honestly, I might try getting my hands on the level base when they get it released, and maybe be able to do a review for them anyway. But this ball head here is awesome. It's very, very, very well made. I even like the little stem here, the neck, that it's big compared to my wrecking ball. The wrecking ball is a little skinny guy. It's not real skinny, but I mean, it's pretty skinny compared to this guy. So this is like a 49 millimeter ball, something like that, 50. This one's 65 millimeters. Anyway, what's nice about it, there's no base plate that you screw it down to, nothing. It just mounts right in there. So that's pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and tighten this down, and I will show you what's kind of cool about this throw lever style that I honestly was very, very skeptical about buying. I'm going to go ahead and lock my plate in here, or my clamp, because I'm still running the clamp. I might switch to an Arca, or go back to an Arca mount on my gun. But anyway, what you can do is you can adjust your tension. When I first got this ball head, when it was locked down, it wasn't going to move. It was very, very tight. About halfway, was pretty good tension. All the way, it was loose. I mean, it was just flopping everywhere. But they make it to where you can adjust that. So what I did is you take this little handle off right here with a little Allen screw. You take it off, there's a nut underneath there. I put a socket on there and I adjusted the tension to where there's some decent tension on it. And I'll show you, I'll put my gun on there now. So, with the gun on here, and right now I have the throw lever all the way open. And it'll hold my gun pretty good if it's past the halfway point this direction. Now if I put it halfway, it will start to fall. Not hard and not fast, but it'll start to fall. And that's because obviously the weight of the scope and once you got a loaded clip in here, everything, all your weight's at the back of the gun. You could adjust this a little tighter for when in the wide open position, it wouldn't do that. And I had it like that a while ago, but I didn't like how much tension it took to close it all the way. So I made it to where when it's wide open, it's fairly loose. But when you're on this is what I like about this. I always have my left hand on the tripod. Not everybody does, but I always have my left hand on the tripod. So now I can run it up here, right here where this throw lever is. And let's say you're on a coyote and he's moving. And right now I feel pretty stable, honestly, with as loose as this is. Like I said, it still holds the gun. It's just when it's broke over, I have to hold the weight of it. But anyway, there's still some good tension on it, right? Well, let's say a coyote stops and he's out there at 200 or 250 or whatever, and you want a little bit stabler shot. Literally, watch, little quarter turn, she's locked in there, right? So all the way open, you bark at the coyote, whatever you want to do, you get him to stop, little quarter turn of the lever, you're locked in solid, pull the trigger. Back open, all the way, scanning, lock in, boom. You're not moving this, right? It's that easy. So, I am glad that I went ahead with the throw lever ball style instead of the level head. Because you can do the same thing with a level head, but from what I've read, the level heads don't get nearly as tight as these. So even with the level head as tight as it'll go, you can still move the gun a little bit. But they do say they're extremely stable. So, I mean, I don't know. I've never messed with one. But what I do know is I would have to have my hand awkwardly inside the legs of the tripod if I wanted to, run a quick adjustment or whatever. Where this is right here on top, the big lever, it's very easy to move. And, it's, that easy. It's smooth. It's easy to turn. Like I said, there's still good tension. Honestly, even with it wide open, I'd still shoot at 200 yards. No problem. Like, for certain. But it's all within your comfort zone as well. But I can tell you right now, you could lock this in and you're solid at 200, 250, 300, whatever you want to shoot. But it's just that easy. Like, it is. I dig it. For sure. And that's just a little quarter. It's not even a quarter. And there's tension, right? You go a little more, you're not even moving it. You lock it in, pick up your stuff, walk back to the truck, the tripod's not moving, or the ball head's not. So throw it open. Honestly, I can't wait to go out and shoot with it tomorrow, because I'm going to compare this locked in all the way, compare shooting off of this to my sled, and see if I can shoot just as good off of this as I can my Caldwell sled. Because I'm telling you, with this tripod and that ball head, it's pretty stable. I'm not saying it's as stable as a sled on a tabletop, but it's pretty legit, that's for sure. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Warrior Tripods and for this ball head and speaking with me. And the guy was super cool, even though I have you know, a competitor's tripod to him. The guy was a great guy to talk to, and I'm hoping when they come out with the level head that maybe I could do some type of review for them, or purchase one myself, and compare the two, because everybody wants to have a stable setup for sure. And the funny part is you know, I told Everett and Philip that you got the ball head in. He wanted me to send some pictures, and so I sent Everett these pictures of it, right? And he says, that's a badass looking bitch. I'm on my way to the computer right now. So I told him, go ahead and order one, trust me. He's going to like it, and I'm doing a review. So anyway, if I had to guess, by the time I get this review edited, Everett will already have a ball head and tripod on the way to his house. Anyway, like I said, this ball head's treated me very, very well. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's just not working for this application. So it's going to come off of this plate. It's going to go back onto a Slick 700 for Nick. Then he's going to have a nice stable setup. And I'm going to run with the new Warrior tripod ball head. This is the WT65. So what it is, it's 70mm base, 65mm ball. Base, I don't know. Anyway, this thing's pretty legit. So right now I am completely happy with this setup. I mean, I love the tripod when it came in, but I was a little skeptical because my ball head wasn't working on it right, and I had to make an adjustment. And like I said, I'm not one to when I spend this kind of money on hunting equipment, I don't want to have to make something work. I want it to work. Every time when I go out in the field, I want stuff to work. Night in, night out, stand after stand after stand after stand, I want my stuff to work, right? The wrecking ball is a fantastic ball head. It just wasn't working for this tripod. So I had to go with something else. But now I got something that's made for this application. It fits in there perfect, it tightens down nice. The adjustment on it is very easy, and I couldn't be happier, honestly. And another thing I will say, so this will, let me get this out of here before I end this video. So this is very similar to the FatBoy Arca mount and some others out there. It's not just Warrior tripods and FatBoy, but there's some other ones out there. This quick attach down here in this bottom will take a Picatinny rail. So you can actually throw in, if your gun has a Swiss Arca mount on it, it'll lock in here. Or if you have a Picatinny rail on the bottom of your gun, it will also lock in here. Quick style. So that's pretty nice. And like I said, I run my clamp. I'm still running the clamp. I still like the clamp. But with as solid as this gets, I might try an Arca mount. I might go back to an Arca mount and give it a shot, just to see. I still like my clamp, but I mean, with this setup here, I might be able to run an Arca mount, which would be pretty cool. So anyway, this is the Warrior Tripods WT65 ball head. It's a low profile ball head. From the tripod, the base of the tripod to the top of the mount, it's like 2.5 inches. So your gun's lower. You have a lower center of gravity compared to what I was running. It's quite a bit higher. This is about 3.5 inches here. So you're at a lower center of gravity. The ball head's 65 millimeters. It locks in extremely tight. but you can adjust the tension like what I wanted to be able to do. And that's what I was very skeptical about. I didn't know how the tension setting would be, because like I said, I was so used to the wrecking ball. I liked how it just had solid tension all the time, and it was very smooth and steady. Well, this one here, you actually have a little bit more adjustment with it. You can have that tension setting right there, but at the same time, with that wrecking ball, there's no way to quickly lock it into where it's not going to move. You'd have to screw it down tighter and tighter and tighter. With this, it's a throw lever. And like I said, I showed you all ago, literally a quarter pull on this lever, and it's locked in. It's not moving. And if you really want to lock it down, push it all the way over. And you're not moving it. So all the way open, it was a little loose. The way I have it set, you can change that. You can make it really sloppy loose, or you can make it to where your gun doesn't move. That is 100% up to you. I have it to where the gun moves fairly freely. If I were to let off of it, it's not going to slam down. It's going to fall down easily. But it's easy and smooth panning that way. And then, like I said, a little quick quarter turn of this lever, and she's locked in. I'm going to run this on the left side to where my hand's right here, because like I said, I like to have my hand on the tripod anyway. So just have it turned, because you can turn it whatever direction you want. You can have this set up any way you want it. So once you figure out where you want it, lock it in. There you go. Anyway, hope you got some good information out of this. And like I said, shout out to Warrior Tripods. You're great talking to on the phone. Very, very informative. I can't wait to see some of your new products come out. I'm excited to get my hands on one of your leveling heads and put it to the test and give an honest review on it compared to this. So anyway, get out there and hunt some coyotes. Have fun at it. Don't get discouraged. And just keep at it. I mean, keep hunting them as hard as you can. And there's plenty of them out there. So have fun.